It's been a long time since Suzuki reimagined the 1000cc class with its first circuit-only GSX R1000. 7 AMA Superbike hustling titles, innumerable race and magazine shootout wins, and several thousand sold around the world. Clearly Suzuki's leader class bicycle was a formula for progress. Be that as it may, as most things throughout everyday life, tastes move, innovation propels, and the opposition gets harder. Presently the Hamamatsu, Japan manufacturing plant bounces back on the by super hot leader bicycle class with its upgraded Gixxer 1000. From outside in, the GSX-R abounds in new innovation planned as a team with its GSX-RR MotoGP bicycle. Be that as it may, what's it get a kick out of the chance to ride? We have the appropriate responses subsequent to having logged situate time on the US $14,599 base model at the Circuit of the Americas 3.42-mile street course, and the encompassing Austin, Texas, wide open after the unrivaled North American MotoGP round this past spring. Take a gander at this metallic Triton blue sport bike and it's conspicuous it moved off Suzuki's mechanical production system. All new bodyboards still suggest a cartoonish, enlivened appearance. Yet, one that looks more athletic. Bigger slam air pipes flank the thin LED headlight. A plastic bezel covers the opening where the R module's LED running lights stow away. Very close, the level square-shaped lower bodyboards bear the cost of a smooth and contemporary modern wrap-up. The casing fights, situate crossroads, and rest of the undercarriage seem more svelte and a portion of the equipment lines harken to the old air-cooled GSX-Rs with their two-fold support border pillar outline. Situated at the controls, this machine is racier feeling. The seat is taller, with a more weight-forward inclination. The class-bonds have a hardly lower and more forceful twist. It's additionally smaller from nose to tail, however the 4.6-gallon steel fuel tank stays sizable. Albeit skinnier, despite everything it feels like a genuine measured cruiser and will be valued by Tony Elias and LeBron James-sized riders alike. As normal the windscreen is tall, making it simple to tuck behind around the circuit and managing a quiet breeze redirecting ride on the interstate. The rider's foot pegs are settled, rather than the movable setup on its ancestor. Be that as it may, they are a pleasant harmony amongst track and road. As usual, the GSX-R is a tolerant sport bike for throughout the day rides. Include some cork delicate baggage and now you have a CHP outrunning game visiting rig. Tap the starter catch, now coordinated into the motor run, stop switch, and the upgraded, considerably more square, more extensive chamber bore, shorter cylinder stroke, 999cc inline 4 flames to life. Drop it into first apparatus and discharge the grasp lever, it's an ideal opportunity to ride. Like Suzuki's refreshed SV650, the GSX-R utilizes Suzuki's low RPM assist include. It naturally bolsters fuel into the motor, expanding RPM, as the grasp lever discharges. This makes the bike less demanding to take care of business from the stop. It's an inquisitive element considering the more experienced statistic of a Gixxer rider, yet a flawless component regardless. Suzuki engineers have a talent for striking the perfect harmony between sports car outrunning base and control and a draft passing best end. This variable valve timing prepared Gixxer is no special case, conveying the broadest power yet. Where other motors have a sweep recognized, this Suzuki makes usable power all over the place. Relevant at high, or carried low, and in ordinary GSX-R design, control is fresh, torquey, and very much needed. The old GSX-R was an expert, however this bigger bore at 4 conveys more muscle at any RPM, in addition to its prepared for track obligation with its 1000 revolutions per minute taller rev route, turning to a grand 14,500 revolutions per minute before the rev limiter closed down the good times. Motor vibration stays quieted, however there is a sparse more buzz from the new engine. However it's insufficient to disturb its general satisfying character in the city. Obviously, the sound is unadulterated GSX-R. Indeed, designs moderately fitted a humongous titanium suppressor to keep U.S. government offices under control. However, in all actuality, despite everything, you hear something uncommon fermenting inside. Not exactly as consideration-snatching as the cross-plane prepared or V4 fueled rivalry, delicate ears will find out its extraordinary fumes note. We can hardly wait to hear how great it sounds uncorked with the Yoshimura Alpha T slip-on suppressor. The 2017 bicycle is the main Gixxer to utilize a full ride-by-wire throttle, substituting the mechanical association for sensors. It keeps on being expanded by Suzuki's returning SDMS innovation movable throttle maps. A mode is the most forceful setting with the most keen, and most delicate reaction. Most riders will probably incline toward the B setting, offering a smoother and more natural feel like past GSX R1000's C mode, then again, lessens motor reaction, and is perfect for crude street surfaces where the rider requests the most extreme charge. Like some time recently, handlebar-mounted catches on the switchgear permit modification on the fly while riding. Ten-way movable and Continental fueled footing control help moderate wheel turn. The lower TC settings are adjusted for quick-paced, or potentially track-day riding, while the higher settings are produced for riding in soggy conditions, or on more tricky street surfaces. Around Kota's gray surface, level 2 ended up being the sweet spot, fixing motor power sufficiently only to keep up control yet less to excessively hinder drive-off turns. Even on new Bridgestone Battle XR10 race tires, RS10 tires are stock. The framework coordinates wheelie control, however, the capacity is more unrefined than other makers' generation frameworks. It's not as simple as mid-2009 to 2010 frameworks, but rather it could stand some change in this day and age. Notwithstanding spending an entire day on track, we never got sufficiently settled to lean on the framework and completely believe it. Rather, we utilized it more as a well-being net, in a comparable vein as a throttle stop on your children's Suzuki Quad Sport 4-wheeler. In any case, it took the edge off things and made the bicycle all the more well-disposed to order mid-quick-paced rides. On-the-fly customizability is another pleasant touch, and the settings inside the LCD are anything but difficult to translate. The LCD dash is substantial and loaded down with data, including gear position, move light, and a manual lap clock. Issue is, it's slightly jumbled. The little mileage settings are particularly difficult to peruse. Another fuss, the yellow low fuel light has been supplanted by a symbol on the dash that isn't as simple to see when fuel gets low. Be that as it may, the GSX R1000 now incorporates a fuel level meter, so you don't need to depend on resetting the tank meter to be aware of refills. On a side note, GSXRs are less parched at the gas pump versus the previously mentioned rivalry. We enlisted around 40 miles per gallon as indicated by the PC amid a more moderate non-third outfit wheelie pulling pace. Power is exchanged to an extended swing arm that completes a great employment of putting every last pull to the asphalt. The 6-speed gearbox and shoe activity grip work close superbly. In any case, we'd love to have the R-Spec GSX R standard electronic quick shifter. Yet, considering its respectable $14,599 MSRP, situating it beneath a portion of the more established rivalry, it's difficult to thumb Suzuki. On the off chance that reasonableness has a place in your purchasing choice, the base GSX R watches that great. Regardless of just shedding 7 pounds from its prepared-to-ride check weight, non-ABS show, around Kota's 20-turn office we were awed by the amount more flexibility the bicycle is, particularly from side to side, a trademark that was promptly clear through the S's of turns 3, 4, and 5. These turns put an accentuation on a cruiser's capacity to alter course left to right and the other way around rapidly. Enormous 1000cc inline fours ordinarily battle in these circumstances, yet not the Suzuki. General dealing with is exact with heaps of soundness, a characteristic that cutting-edge Suzuki GSX-Rs have been prestige for. The capacity of the more seasoned age show a huge cylinder suspension sparkles out and about, offering an extravagant, very much hosed ride, and in addition enormous change go. Notwithstanding, At the circuit, the segments don't help for the all-new undercarriage, covering a level of its recently discovered process. On the off chance that track days or ultra-elite gulch rides are in your future, you'll be glad to spend another $2,400 for Showa's most recent and most prominent gas-charged dampers. In view of our involvement with a specific green producer's equipment, it's cash well spent. However, for most circumstances the GSX-R's standard suspenders perform outstandingly. For whatever length of time that we can recall, the GSX-R front brakes have been the feeble connection in a generally balanced bundle. 10mm bigger Brembo rotors supplant the Sunstar plates of old and advantage from the Italian organization's T-Drive. These mounting pins take into consideration added side-to-side rotor skim, which implies additionally clipping surface at all rates. The plates are squeezed by a returning pair of billet outspread calipers, likewise from Brembo. A spiral pump pace chamber and elastic brake hoses control the pressure-driven setup. Continuously on and remote-controlled motion track ABS is a $400 upcharge, or standard on the $16,999 GSX R1000R. Regardless of the refreshed equipment, the brakes are as yet inclined to similar issues that tormented them before at a lifted track pace, blur. After even a couple quick claps, the erosion point shifts, requiring the rider to modify out the position of the brake lever. Fortunately it is 6-position flexible, with an end goal to get the front covers to impel all the more reliably, in spite of the fact that to be reasonable, at a road pace, where you're not redundantly braking from 150+ mph to start with, second, or third rigging speeds, the condition is true. Maintain a strategic distance from exorbitant brake grinding heat, and the setup is capable, simple to use, with a considerable life field.